Alright, in this episode, we're gonna spice up the robot section by adding a lot of different effects, including a lot of particle effects, which are gonna make it a lot cooler. And we're also gonna, for the first time, actually second time, use a bunch of shaders that are gonna make this part really cool looking. Alright, so we are at the robot part, and the robot part is actually gonna have a lot of camera rotate, because I just kind of feel like this would work very nice, and the camera rotate is very sensitive. You have to be careful about how you use it, because this can get really bad very quickly. So we want to make some very smooth movements, and I'm just gonna go ahead and add a start position over here. And it doesn't really matter that we're the ball, because we're just gonna straight up fall into the robot part. And now if we start, you can see that the camera has slightly rotated like so. That's exactly what we want. We want to rotate it back like that, and now we have this and then that. And it's not smooth, so we want to make it very smooth like so. And now you guys can see. And now in here, what I want to do is I want the camera to kind of tilt, but kind of quickly, I'm not gonna lie. So we're gonna see how that's gonna be. So the first thing I want to do is see how that's gonna look like. So I want it to rotate like that, and then every time you click, it's gonna just go to the opposite direction like that, and then this, and then that, like that, if you guys know what I'm saying. So 16 plus 16 minus 16, and we're just gonna see how that looks. Just copy and paste this, see how it's gonna look. So boom. Yeah, something like that, but the values are way too much. So we're gonna go to maybe 7 instead of all of that, and then in here we can do 7 again. Okay, so this one is also way too much, so let's do maybe, I don't know, if this one makes it go to -7, so if this one is 5, that should make sense. Yeah, exactly like that. If you guys listen to the song over here, boom. Yeah, exactly like, so it's very smooth, and I kind of want it to be a little bit unsmooth. So we're gonna make it a bit faster, because this part you are clicking with the song, and I kind of feel like we have to zoom in a bit more. So we're gonna do that by going into here, and 0.85 should sound good on a time span of maybe 2 seconds over here. Like that should look pretty good. And I'm actually gonna make all these rotate things on ease out, and I'm gonna give them a lot more time. And now if you play, you're gonna see that it's gonna be very sudden, like that. Exactly, this is exactly how I wanted it to be kind of boom, like that. And now it's just time to, you just have to playtest, just keep playtesting, and just like look at what feels right. Just just keep playtesting it until you have the right feeling, like that, exactly. And what I'm gonna do is I'm actually just gonna randomly move the camera here and there. So I'm gonna move it a bit to the left using a bit, we just want to make the camera movements very smooth. The only thing that's not gonna be that smooth is gonna be the, what is it called? Okay, I'm gonna change this one to 2.5 so it doesn't go up too much. I'm calling the camera rotate is the only thing that's gonna be very sudden, because that's what we want to change. So boom. And this is a bit too off-centered, so I'm kind of making it like that would be a bit better, like so. So now it should be more fitting with the song. And we're just gonna do this over and over again over here. And yeah, it should be pretty cool. Let's see how that's gonna be. Okay, so the problem here is that we're gonna do X only, so that you only move the X, because the camera was actually reset on the Y, which is not what we want. We want it to kind of stay like that, exactly. And we're actually gonna do this in here as well. So you click this one, and then that one, and then in here we're gonna bring it back to 0, like so, on a very smooth easing, so that it goes back to 0. And now in here I kind of want to add a bit more, so that the player is already ready to know that there's going to be some camera movements like that. Yeah, but I still feel like this is unsmooth for some reason. I'm not too sure why. Maybe it's because this needs to be easy in and out, and maybe very fast. This way you can have like that. Yeah, I think that works pretty good. So we changed some of them, but not all of them. Boom. And in here we want to zoom out quite quickly, I'm not gonna lie. So 0.8 in a, yeah, so throughout this dash orb we want to zoom out. Boom, like that. Exactly, that was pretty smooth. I like it. And yeah, when you mess with the camera, triggers, it's very important to keep playtesting your level every now and then, just to make sure it feels right, because it may feel right at the first, but then it may just look weird after you play it too many times, which basically is just showing the true colors of how the effect will feel. Boom, 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 boom. That's pretty cool. I kind of feel like these guys, all of them should be a bit like that, so that the camera, the music sync is perfect like that. Yeah, that's much cleaner. And now, yeah, nice. All right, so more effects. All right, we want to have more effects. This is all it's about. So I'm going to begin by adding a particle, and I'm going to choose this one. I'm going to bring everything to 0 as of right now. We're going to make it very big, and we're going to rotate it using these values, 90. And we're going to make it go fast like that. We're going to make this one 90, actually minus 90, so that we have this effect. We're going to bring this to 0 so that it all looks smooth. And now what we want to do is we want to make it a bit faster, make it a bit smaller like that. We want to have the max particles always more than the other ones so that you don't have any weird stuff going on in here. And the lifetime could be a bit lower, even though these guys can also be a bit lower like that. So now, like so, this looks pretty clean. And now we're just going to make it very massive so that you have this kind of effect. I'm going to make it fade out so that it kind of has like this nice fade at the end. And this one is actually going to have the exact same color as the rainbow. You guys remember we made a rainbow in here. So this was 2.9. So we're going to select that particle, this one, and we're going to make it 2.9. So this way, this is always also rainbow, which is awesome. Adding this to this part just makes it look a lot cleaner. And we're going to add this over here and give it the group ID of 3. 3 is a group ID we haven't used in a pretty long time. And this one's, I believe, was 4. Yes, it was 4. And now we have this effect on the blocks, which kind of looks pretty cool. And what I'm going to do is simply just copy and paste it, and for those ones we're just gonna have to make it a bit smaller like that, and for this one as well we're just gonna have to add it over there, make it very small, and then yeah, just copying and pasting this on every single block that would fit it, like here for example, or on those guys as well, and on here too, like so, and on there. Nice. So now it's time to make the one block, which should look something like that. All right, this looks clean as flippin' heck. So this level has, this part specifically has a lot going on because the song kind of started going really fast. So we're gonna make this go really fast. So all right, so just filling this in right here shouldn't be too hard. Just make sure you use the right scales for each individual block so that you don't have the weird things where sometimes the particle could go outside of the block or anything like that. We don't want to have any of that stuff. So we're just going to go ahead and continue copying and pasting this into every single place where the block is exposed to the top. So that way we can have a clean looking effect on every single side of these blocks. And the two-sided, we had one over, where was it? There was a two-sided map over here. We have two like that, and I believe we're done. There's actually one more, not one more, two more actually, over here and over there. And like that, just like that, we have a very nice looking effect that we copied and pasted, and looks pretty nice. All right, so cool. Don't forget to save as always, and let's just see how we can make this even better. All right, so an idea I had was to basically select all of the checkerboard blocks. We're going to give them a group ID of 140, and then we're going to add an area tint. Area tint, and then we're going to add, the center is going to be the player, and 140 over here, and we're going to have a massive length, and we're going to tint them to a color of 29. So 29, we're going to tint them, and as you guys can see, now if we start, these blocks are all going to be like that, which looks phenomenal. But I could do it like that, or I could add more randomness to the length, which should make some of them only be like that, which honestly doesn't look that good now that I look at it. So you guys will also see that I only wanted the black parts of these checkerboards to be, you know, a different color. You guys see that even the black things have this weird pulsing, which we don't want. So to fix that, we want to go to the area tint and select main only. This way, only the black ones. We'll select it, and if you go onto secondary only the, exactly, this just looks so much better. Only the white ones have been selected, and you could do this where there's like a length plus minus, like a randomness. But I think I'm gonna see if it looks better like that. Actually, I'm not too sure, honestly, because, yeah, this effect I'm kind of unsure about which one I should use. I think that's pretty good like that. Now, you guys remember how we kind of had this gradient going from bottom to top, and then we kind of made it hidden? And we did that by using a trigger 34, and we made it kind of go hide. And now we're going to bring it back. We're going to bring that back, but we're going to make it color 29 so that it slowly goes into this gradient that we want, this rainbow, I mean. And we can play around with the hue just to kind of have it always different. But I feel like having it the same is a lot cleaner. We're going to do this so that there's still like that. Exactly. We have just extra glow on it, which, yeah, doesn't look bad. And now we're going to have to copy the saw blades. Of course, we want all the parts to look kind of similar, even though they are very different from one and another. But we kind of want to have them still be, just gonna have them have something in common at least. Of course, we don't want them to be like extraordinarily different, but they should still feel like you're playing the same level, right? So adding these saw blades just randomly over here should make this a bit cleaner. Now I could add like a shock wave or a shock line effect over here, which should be like that. And now that I'm looking at it, I think I am going to add it, because although I don't like it that much, I think it's pretty good. So we're gonna play with the strength to make it a bit lower like that, so that it just feels like you are making a one rounded thing. And yeah, like that, it actually didn't look, wait, what? Okay, I see. I thought I started somewhere else. So we're gonna make the ball, of course, and then we're gonna do that, boom, boom, and then we have this very smooth looking thing. Yeah, I'm actually gonna increase this a bit more. And otherwise, all the settings I think are pretty good for now. So boom, yeah, you have like a smooth, like a shockwave like that, which, yeah, looks pretty cool. We're just trying to use as many triggers as possible just to teach you guys how to use those triggers. So we could use like a chromatic glitch, but I feel like it's too much. It's way too much. So, and it also just kind of ruins the whole view, the whole level. I don't know why, but I don't like this trigger that much. So we could do this, but then it just doesn't look that good. I don't know why, but I don't like this trigger that much. So we're not gonna add that. And let's just see what else we could add in here. Perhaps these things that we added in there, like these things, could look pretty cool in here if we make them use the color of 29. 29 is rainbow, don't forget that. And they actually don't look bad at all. This is like a very checkerboardy part, so I think it works. Yeah, look at it. So now we have the shader as well, and yeah, the shader actually adds a lot to this. I kind of like that. I don't like adding this shader because I feel like a lot of people misuse it. They just use it and it just looks weird, which is why I just don't touch that shader at all. But it actually turned out pretty cool, so I'm gonna go for that. And honestly, right now I'm at a state, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I'm at a state where I don't really know what to add. I don't know what effects I could add to this to spice it up even more. So what I like to do is just take a break, or what I can do is just yoink some stuff from what we have done earlier. So I feel like these guys, we have made them very unique so that it's always random and they pulse to the song. So I think they would fit to literally every part of this level. So I'm just going to go ahead and just scatter these around over here, and we're going to see what we're going to have to do to make them pulse, because yeah, we're going to have to change the position of 87. Of course, the center line, we're going to move it to -14, and this way we're going to have a, yeah, actually a bit more. Let's just copy and paste it one more time. I'm going to move this to here so that we don't have to waste any time. Boom. Yeah, this is much cleaner. And now we're going to move it one more time in here because you're actually going to go down. So now boom, 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 boom. Yeah. And what I'm also going to do is okay, so this is a bit complicated, but you guys remember this loop that we made? So we added 88 and we looped it every 0.8 seconds. However, I'm going to copy and paste this one, and I'm going to make it a group ID of 141, and I'm going to make it every 0.4 seconds. And we're gonna toggle this one off. So 141, we want to toggle it off before you even start. And in here, we want to toggle it on so that now every beat, they kind of go crazy because now the song is a lot faster and now they just look a lot cleaner. Yeah, this is actually looking kind of cool. I kind of like this. This is adding so much to the level. I absolutely love it because it's literally just a few objects. And I've just copied like a small rectangle to here as well, just to add more cool stuff to it. And yeah, looks pretty cool. And I'm gonna do a background pulse because this song is heavy, so we're gonna have to change the background to something a lot cleaner. So I think pulsing it straight up to white, yeah, I think to white would be pretty cool. And I'm just gonna loop this every 0.4 seconds. And now you guys can see that the background, ooh, that added so much to the background. This is actually pretty cool. So you just want to make it so that the player actually vibes with the song, and I feel like right now it's working perfectly. And also remember to add these guys like randomly on every second spike or just randomly on every few spikes so that they just look a bit cleaner, just like as a small thing. You don't have to, but just adds a bit more to the level. And that's currently what we're looking for. We're looking to add more random stuff on to our part to make it look a bit cleaner. All right, another thing I decided to do is copy and paste this one and pulse color 29 to at about 0.2 fade out. So this way it just adds more to this thing. And now, yeah, it just looks a lot cleaner. I like it. And I kind of feel like this one doesn't make that much sense. So I'm just going to go ahead and, you know, I'm going to copy and paste this to kind of fill in the remaining area. Oh my god, I keep selecting the particles, so annoying. Just make sure you layer your stuff so that you don't fall into the same problems that I am falling into. But yeah, so in here we want to do the same thing like that, and yeah, it's working out pretty nice. So of course in here you guys remember that we did the layering thing, so we're gonna move it up, move the particle down, and the same layering thing that we did, we're just gonna copy and paste it. Nice. And now of course there's the glow, the harsh glow that we added. We're gonna have to copy and paste that one as well. We can't forget about that, and on the other side as well. And this kind of looks better. I should have done that from the beginning, but yeah, either way, pretty cool. All that matters. And you know what I'm thinking of doing? I think that's a cool idea, like a very unique thing as well, is to add a cloud and kind of make some random particles fall from it. And we're actually going to use the default particles, so these ones, and we're going to make them fall down. So we're going to make this one also minus 90, and we're going to make them fall straight down, maybe a bit of variation like that. And we're going to use like the default square particles. And the reason for that is because this part is very checkery board. So we're going to use a lot of variations like that to make it so. And then use the object color, use 29, of course. And now, yeah, this is kind of like raining and it looks very cool. We're also going to add some glow on top of the cloud just to add a bit more of, you know, make it T2 so that it just feels a lot cleaner. Now this cloud is raining and we're going to change the angle plus minus to a bit more so that it's going to be raining more. And what we're going to do is we're going to copy and paste it, go here, copy the values, paste the values, and then we're going to add another one. And then we're simply going to adjust the particle according to how many, according to the cloud, right? That's what we want. We're going to make this one a bit smaller for this cloud, and we can copy and paste this one for here and make the pulse var a bit larger, more this stuff, because this one is much bigger, and maybe even more like that, maybe a bit more of this guy as well, so that it just adds, actually this one is not a good idea, so maybe like that should feel a lot cleaner. I'm also going to select all of them and give them a bit more of random lifetime, and yeah, they just kind of flow a lot better with the song too. So this one's going to have a bit more particles like so, and that one also calc, just go to each individual one and add calc, and that way you have a, yeah, you have a pretty cool thing. Just make sure the glow, where is the glow? The glow is over there. Just make sure you scale it up with the cloud size as well. This way it doesn't look that weird. Now we're just going to link them and simply just, you know, paste them every now and then. So over here a cloud would be cool, and over here a cloud would be cool, And maybe we can use this one somewhere in here. So right now what I'm doing is simply just, we added a new thing and we're just copying and pasting it around the thing. So, right. So actually I kind of feel like if these are kind of on top of the blocks, that would also look pretty cool. So yeah, just experiment with certain things and see what looks cool. And to my surprise, adding this stuff was a good idea. So we're doing it and just scatter these like randomly. So this is really, again, all decorations is about, just trying to add some random elements here and there to first hide the fact that you copied and pasted everything. And second of all, the fact that to make this level just less random and make every part unique. And you guys can see that this has a weird overlapping, and we're gonna do, this is a bit weird because, okay, we're gonna select all of our clouds, and this is gonna be a bit hard because we forgot to layer them, which is a big problem. Every time you add stuff, just make sure you layer it. I just keep forgetting. And we're just gonna give them a new layer now, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna unlink them and choose all of the, actually we can't do that, can we? Yeah, we can't. So we're gonna choose all of these guys, the glow, and we're gonna move it up, and then we're gonna choose all the particles and then move it up, and then we're gonna simply select the clouds, because now the only thing remaining in these guys is gonna be the cloud. And we're just gonna see what the perfect fitting for this are. So okay, T1 should work pretty cool, and now we can just bring everything down like it used to be, like so. And yeah, this is looking pretty good. All right, you guys can see how much this added to the whole part. We have clouds raining pixel rain, which yeah, looks pretty nice. And I'm also thinking of adding the new fire, this one, into here, like randomly, but I'm not too sure if that's a good idea. I'll make it very fast, of course, because the song is going really fast. Just make sure everything has the same pacing. And yeah, I think that kind of looks nice. So I'm just gonna scatter this one around this part just to make it look a bit cleaner, like so. All right, so yeah, this actually added a lot. So yeah, every time you add something new, just make sure you focus on it while you're playing to see if it looks cool or not. However, I still feel like these ones are a bit too boring. I don't know why, but I feel like they're too boring in comparison to the rest of this part. But I don't know if there's anything we can do about it at this point. Is there anything we can do? I don't think so. Oh, another thing we can do is just add some small, like, random decoration that is pretty cool. Just randomly scatter them on top of the blocks, because we actually forgot to do that for the other parts. So we're gonna do that in here. Just make sure you don't exaggerate, as always. This one has to kind of go more down, and we're gonna copy it and just add some, you know, random grass would be pretty cool. Some of these guys maybe a bit like that, and maybe a bit more grass like so. And this one could work pretty cool in here like that. And maybe this grass object like so. Grass objects kind of add a lot to your level, even if you just add a few. They just make the level look a lot cooler. Trust me, add grass, it's gonna make it look a lot cleaner. If you guys made it so far in the tutorial, bro, imagine you started the tutorial and you didn't know anything about the Geometry Dash editor, and now you have made this. You are practically considered a very good creator. Like, I'm not gonna say good, because you are above average by far. You're like really above average if you manage to do stuff like this. So if you made it this far, massive congratulations, because it only lasted a few hours and you are already like, you could get your first few creator points if you just apply these things that you learned from this whole tutorial into making your own levels to just kind of make it look cool, right? That's all it's about. So yeah, I'm not saying that I'm a good creator, because I wouldn't really say that, because I'm not a good creator actually. I kind of hate my stuff sometimes. And although I have a creator in my name, I just don't want to say that I'm a good creator for some reason. I just don't like saying that. So you guys are good. The people that started new in this game, you guys are excellent at it. And yeah, what I'm also going to do, oh, I got an idea. Okay, so every time you click, okay, first of all, we're gonna have to copy these guys, because this is like these are our friends, right? Okay, why is this so off-centered, bro? Okay, we're gonna, oh my god, why can I not delete these guys? Delete. I have selected static. Okay, that's my god. Okay, move these guys like that, and then kind of just align them perfectly with the other guys like so. And then we're gonna add some effects to these guys, because we haven't, oh, that's what I wanted to do. Oh my god, I had this idea ever since I made this part, and I kind of just forgot it for some reason, but now I got it again, and this is gonna bring this part, like, make it like 2 times better, at least. So, what we're gonna do is we are going to add particles. Look at this. And look at this. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna add a particle up there, and we're gonna make it kinda, we're gonna make a high speed, and then we're gonna make it kind of go to the right with this guy, and then like that, make it go from a center point like so, or you can do 2 and 2 just to have a bit more like that. We're gonna bring this guy a bit down so that it kind of feels like this, and then click on max, and then bring this duration to 0 so that this is how they look, like that. And we're gonna add more speed variation so that they look a bit cleaner, a bit more speed. That was too much, like that. Yeah, exactly like so. And we're gonna make it fade out at the end as well, and add these guys. We're gonna make it dynamic rotation so that they rotate. Actually, no, never mind. Dynamic rotations just make it so that they rotate towards where they're going. So we're gonna make these guys, perhaps just choose a random one and see if it looks good. Yeah, I think this one looks pretty nice. We're gonna make this one a bit less so that they kind of have more limited, and you guys can see already where we're going with this. So we're gonna make this one a bit lower, click on max, and do this. Right, this is awesome looking. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring this on a new layer of 35, and then we're simply gonna play this when you click on these orbs. Make it very yellow, maybe a bit more variations at the beginning, and just make sure that the speed is much so that it kind of goes through these guys. And we're gonna give this a 1, 4, 3, and we're gonna make it animate on trigger and quick start. And now 1, 4, 3, 1, 4, 3, we're gonna animate over here. So now if you guys take a look at this, actually I'm gonna make it kind of like here, like so. And now you guys will see that if I click this orb, it's gonna send these beautiful particles just flying up. I'm gonna make this a bit lower, and I kind of want to make this a lot bigger so that these guys are actually a lot more visible, like that. Actually a bit more variations with the size would also be pretty cool. So like that, yeah, I kind of feel like they are not fast enough, so I'm just gonna make them really fast, but as a result, we're gonna drag this one down, and we're gonna make them go far to the right, so that, yeah, exactly like that is pretty cool. And now if we play, you guys are gonna see that, boom, boom, yeah, nice. Okay, so another thing we want to do is we're simply going to copy and paste that particle over here. We're going to select it, copy and paste, and then we're going to select this one. And then we're going to do 1, and then we're going to remove all of these values in here. We're going to make it 0, lifetime like that, and make this one around 30. Make it really big like so. And then in here, you want to make the particle again bigger. So now you have this thing. And now if we're going to basically animate both of them, which is going to lead to this big pulse as well as what we talked about. So we're going to add the particle size of that one is actually going to be 70 because it's going to be massive like that. Look at this. So now if we click on the orb, it's going to be there's just so much happening instead of just nothing. So now what we could do is simply copy and paste this, bring it over there. And I'm actually going to flip, so this particle, that one, I'm going to flip it like that. So that one time it goes to the right, and then the second time it's going to go to the left. So boom, boom. Yeah, exactly like that. So now we're going to select this one because these ones are going to the right, which is the next in our sequence. And then we're simply going to select all 3, copy and paste, and we're going to do this. And yeah, I think this should work pretty nicely. Let's just make sure we align these guys perfectly with the orb. And now if we play, this should look fantastic. Look at it. So now boom, 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 boom. Yeah, wow, this added just so much life to this thing. And another thing I want to add is kind of like a laser that's going to play. Just more effects, right? Why not? So we want to add these two, and then you kind of want to make them yellow. You want them to be specifically yellow. And then you want to click on the second one and then move it a bit to the top, actually a bit more, so that you have this line in the center. And if you make it really big, it kind of looks like a laser. So we want to delete that, and actually we copied it, so we want to paste it in here and then do this and kind of bring it behind everything like that. So this one's going to have 149, and we're going to copy and paste it over here as well, and 150, and we're simply just going to do this for the rest of these guys. And actually I forgot to add it on a new layer, so that's not that good because we're going to have to give them all a new color. but I don't think that's that big of a problem, is it? So if we select that and then we select only these guys, it should work. Okay, now we can put them on a new layer and we're gonna make them black blending and we're gonna pulse them to yellow. So we want to go 149, so group 149, we want to pulse it to yellow like that, and boom, like that. Now it pulses to yellow, and in here we want to have the next one, which is going to pulse right with this animate like that. Nice. And then the next one, 151, and the one after it should be over here, 152, and in there 153 like so, and then over there we have 154. And if you guys play, you guys are gonna see that this is gonna add so much into this thing. Boom, boom, boom. Wow, this is phenomenal looking. I absolutely love the glow. We're doing excellent progress. Okay, so I want to try to select these guys, copy and paste them, and kinda, does that work? If we do, I kind of want to do something like this. Yeah, so something like that, but I'm gonna make them a lot less opacity so that they kind of hold that area, if you guys see what I'm saying. Actually, let me see. Does that look good? Does that look good? Let me see. So boom, boom. Yeah, actually, it doesn't look that bad. Yeah, I'm gonna use that. So you guys saw that how we basically brought these glowy objects into like a square or a rectangle, like a very big one, and it worked perfectly. I kind of feel like this one is looking a bit weird like that because, you know, it's not in the center according to that one thingy, as you guys can see. So we're gonna have to kind of move it a bit to the left like that so that it looks a bit cleaner like so. So now if you click on it, it's gonna look a lot better. Boom, boom, boom. Yes, exactly like that. Very nice. And now what we're gonna do is, should we add, yeah, actually let's add more particles into this one as well. So we're gonna copy these guys, we're gonna give it a new, what's it called, like build helper, and now it's gonna do it for these guys as well. And what else did we forget? That one, that whole line, we're gonna copy and paste it, and build helper we're gonna do over there. But this time this one's gonna have a lot of massive place because we don't want to be able to not see it. So something like that, and let's see if that's gonna work. It's supposed to work, but maybe it doesn't. I don't really know. Let's just test it out. Let's see. Boom, boom. Yeah. This is honestly, we're doing some excellent progress, and we're actually very close to finishing this level. So if you are managed to do it this far, you are doing excellent. So we're gonna make this one a bit greenish, just like that. And we're gonna copy and paste it, and over here, ooh, we forgot to add a one on the dash orb as well. Why not? We have to add one on the dash orb as well. So nice. Now what we want to do is we want to do the same thing with these guys, but we're gonna bring it over there, and we're gonna do build helper, and I'm gonna bring it on the next layer for one reason, because I'm gonna make it rotate. I'm gonna make it like that, a bit more fancy, and we're gonna pulse it to green instead. So we want to copy and paste, build helper, put it over there, and then add this one, which should be like that. And now select, copy and paste, do this, and as you guys can see, now it's just gonna look a lot better. Like a bit more variation into it is always a why not, right? So click and then click. This one's a bit too early, so maybe like that, somewhere in here, like so, should be pretty nice. And now if you guys play it, you guys will see that if we touch the green orbs, boom, 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 boom. Nice. Awesome. This is looking, I love it. This is looking pretty cool. So what I want to do here is I actually want to yoink one of the two of these guys, and I want to place them in here. So I'm holding D to keep moving them to the right, and now maybe somewhere in here, because so that the player doesn't, you know, clip out. And I'm gonna add them on a new layer just for safety so that I can manually move them, and we don't want them to make this too hard, so we're gonna do that. And now the player can still fall out, which is not what we want. So in here, the player can fall out, and in here, he can kind of squeeze in if he doesn't click this specific orb. So what I'm thinking of is kind of just, you know, we could just copy and paste this whole section in here. So if we just copy and paste everything that this block has, including the shadow, and yeah, right, like that. And then we paste it up there so that we clean it up first of all. And then this one doesn't matter. It could be like so we don't really care. And now what we want to have is this one on top. We're going to hide the particles, and also the glow over here should continue over there like that. And there's some glow that's not continuing, which I don't know why. This one is not continuing, but now it is. And we're just going to add another spike like that. And we're going to align everything on the X so that it just looks phenomenal like so. So now what we can do is simply do this. But before we copy and paste it, we're going to have to add a massive shadow to it. Like so. Just don't make it too big so that it doesn't go away. And now we can copy it and paste it over here like that. And this just looks a bit better than having some random stuff hanging from there. So like that looks pretty cool. And now if you play, you guys can see that this part is coming along very nicely. Okay, so there are no particles on these guys, so I'm gonna just copy and paste them, and we're gonna see what we're gonna do, because the different particles in here they should be first of all red. So we're gonna have to get rid of, not red, I mean green, like that, and maybe greenish like that, so that some of them are. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna change the angle to somewhere to the right. So if you move the particle like that, and then we kind of move it like so, maybe a bit more of this stuff so that it kind of shoots like so. Yeah, exactly. But we want it to fall down, so we kind of flip it and rotate it maybe slightly so that it kind of looks like that. And now we can just copy and paste it, build helper, and click on this to see how that's going to be. Maybe a bit more down, and this one on top of that one, and looks phenomenal. Now if we preview this one, should be a bit rotated like that. Yeah, this is looking awesome. I absolutely love how this is turning out, but this is a bit buggy in here. And we also forgot to add those guys, so we're just going to do that real quick so that it doesn't feel weird, right? We don't want this to feel weird. That's the only thing we don't want. And we're going to copy the clouds so that they kind of have this smooth entering into that part. And we're going to fix like all the polishing stuff later. And wow, this looks absolutely... The particles just add so much to this. I absolutely love it. Boom, 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 boom. And now we want to... Okay, so now we have very few saw blades in here. So I'm just going to take this one, copy, delete, and then I'm going to add it over here so that you can't, jump outside, and that you see the thing that you have to kind of jump on top of it. Boom, 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 like that. Excellent. Looking phenomenal so far. Okay, I think we have actually done the robots part, and oh my god, I absolutely love how this level is turning out. Like, this level is turning out to be one... Actually, I think this is by far my best classic level, best looking classic level. I think so, because I am a rather platformer creator, but I mean, I could create classic levels as well. Why not? I also want to do a tutorial on how to make a platformer level, because that one I can do a lot more than here, because that's what I'm specialized in, you can say. So, all right, but yeah, classic levels are also kind of my type as well. So yeah, GD as a whole is just my type. GD creating, I absolutely love it. So now in here, the player can't... Okay, now we're just going to take a look at the boundaries of the camera so that we don't have this weird stuff where in here, for example, we can see that there are no blocks. So what we're going to do is we're going to simply copy and paste all of this stuff so that you can't see it. Yeah, like that. Exactly. Now look at the top and the bottom just while you're playing. Make sure there's nothing sussy visible. And yeah, this is looking pretty good. I kind of want to play around a bit more with the camera. So the last thing we did was zoom out, and I kind of want to start zooming in slowly, like to 1.17 perhaps, so that it ends right at the place where the next zoom trigger starts. So in here, and this is the zoom trigger. So now if you guys play, you guys are gonna see that it's kind of gonna zoom in already, which looks really nice. And in here I kind of wanted it to zoom out like that, kind of slowly, but not too fast, like so that you can see the mouth closing on you, and you guys will see that this is gonna start to look pretty nice. All right, nice. This is I absolutely love how this is turning out. So we have made the robot section. Let's flip and go. And I'm actually going to add one last thing to this part. And I kind of want to add this shader, but it's way too big. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the shockwave in here, edit object. And then I want to go somewhere in here and change the W to maybe a bit bigger like that. So this way, if we change the thickness as well, we should have one wave, which is what we want. We want to have one wave and we're gonna make it a kind of like that, like so. This is a bit too big still, so the thickness make it a bit slower, fade in a bit more, and this should target this specific thing in here. So in here, this is where we want it to go out of. So we added the particles, remember, and we gave them the group ID of 160. So want to go in here, target 160, and now it's going to go off from that point. However, only one object is allowed to have that group ID, so I'm just going to give these guys instead. So I'm going to give the green orbs 163 and 163 in here, and now you guys will see that we have this thing, which looks pretty cool. However, it's a bit too much. Like, I feel like the strength was a bit too much, so now we have a thing like that, which with I use these values, and now you guys can see that we have this thing, and I'm actually gonna change this up a bit to have it maybe like that. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. So it's gonna be about a lot faster because you can't use two at the same time, two shock waves at the same time. So I'm going to use this one 164, and the next one's going to be 165. So in here 164, and the next one's going to have 165. So boom, and then boom, and then boom. So nice. This has to be also at the perfect time. So alongside these ones is where we're going to play it. So in here like that. Okay, let's see. How is this one going to be? I have no idea. I don't really use that shader that much, but I think it should be pretty cool. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, I kind of feel like it's still a bit weird, like the values. So I'm just going to go ahead and play around with some of these values. And actually what I'm going to do is, you guys see how if we play like that, I changed the values to the followings now. And if we play, you guys, or if we just go through it, you guys can see that before this thing even ends, we have the next one playing and the next one playing. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy and paste these guys and move them a bit like that. And then we're going to use animate. So this way we can change these values live. So we want to change the strength to 0. And now you guys can see that if we make this a bit fade time like that, ease in and out, now you can see that we must make this a lot faster, so maybe 0.2 like that. And now the strength is actually going to go to 0 before the next one starts. And this just looks so much better, you guys can see. And yeah, this is actually pretty easy to do. Just use the easing and the animate. So now, boom, boom, boom. Wow, this actually... Wait, I might actually use this on all of these orbs, but I don't know. I don't want to overuse this effect. So I'm going to change the values maybe even more a bit. So maybe the fade in, we can change the fade out so that it looks a bit bigger. Maybe this one's 0.7 like that. Yeah, now that we have the option to change it, I think that's pretty cool. Boom, 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 boom. Nice. That actually looked pretty good. I'm just gonna do it like that. And unfortunately, there are no lines for these guys. So what I recommend doing is just add a move trigger and see what the perfect value is before the next one starts. So in this case, it's probably gonna be 0.24 should be good. Yeah, 0.25 is also pretty good. So now if we play, this should start looking a lot better than previously. Yes. And yeah, what I'm gonna do is, what if we change this one mid-flight so that it kind of looks like the thickness maybe? Now the thickness, we can't change the thickness because this has to be 0.4 still. Actually, okay, I ruined it because 0.04 I think it was. Yeah, 0.04, and now we have these values. All right, so I added the strength of these guys is 2, and these ones I changed this one to an NA by clicking on this one, and the speed I also changed a bit. And now what's gonna happen is that it's gonna look a bit better, I think. Let's see. So boom, 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 boom. Yeah, that's much better. All right, cool. We added some shaders, and I kind of feel like I should add this shader that we added at the beginning over here as well. Yeah, I think this should look a lot cleaner. And if we start now, this should look boom, 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 like that. Yes, that was pretty good. All right, and with that, we have spiced up the robot section, and I will see you guys in the next episode.